All right, we're back here with Miss Teeny Tuna Toes, and I moved over to the side because you can see she's very excited. So I don't want to cause too much frustration by sitting in the exact spot where we usually do our exercises. So I've taken off my clicker and I'm not holding treats. But even so, you can see that she's pretty excited about the situation. She's even offering oh my gosh, good girl. She's offering the behavior that we're going to be working on, which is very nice. And shame on me for not having treats, but I'm talking to you guys right now. So last time, I think I frustrated her by doing a couple of things. One, I started to ask for a down immediately followed by the rollover without rewarding the down itself. And I was trying to fade the lure more. So I'm not going to do both of those things today. I'm just going to focus on making that hand motion smaller so that I can get rid of the food in this hand. Last time she was really frustrated because she was really hungry. So this time I am actually also a little bit dangerously close to dinner time, but I'm hoping that we're not so close that she's not going to work or that she's going to be too anxious to work. So I'm going to try to keep the anxiety levels low. I tried to set up my training session so that it's not right at dinner time like I did last time. And I'm going to separate those two things, combining the down and the rollover and making the hand motion smaller. I'm just focusing on the hand motion today. So each time she offers the down or I lure the down, I'm going to go ahead and reinforce that as a separate behavior. Let's do this. All right, so getting started, I'm going to go ahead and lure the behavior once or twice with food in my hand. And since she's popping up after that down, I'm going to have two treats in my hand. So I'm going to have the first treat for the down. She's looped over to the wrong side. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to get the down, click and treat that. And then I'm going to see if I can, very nice, beautiful. Good girl, very nice. Once again, I'm going to lure the down. And then I'm going to see if I can make that hand motion a little smaller. See how focused she is on the cheese in my hand? I'm going to put that cheese behind my back. Kind of interesting because when I have a treat pouch, she isn't that distracted. But right now, I don't know if it's just seeing the cheese that's making it hard for her. Beautiful. I like your spin. It's very nice. And she's offering me a little paw. Good girl. Very nice. So there, the hand motion was still pretty large, but it wasn't as close to her body. So I'm hoping that that's going to help us make that transition. So I'm just going to have the one piece of cheese in my hand this time. I'm going to click for the down, and then I'm going to see if I can immediately, good job, good girl. So I immediately went for the hand motion, even though there wasn't a piece of cheese in there. So once again, I'm going to click for the down, then I'm going to do the hand motion, beautiful, and I'm clicking and treating. She's noticing that the treat isn't right there ready for her. Very nice, thank you for that paw. All right, so I'm going to see if I can make that hand motion even a little smaller. Good job. So that time what I did is I just sort of quit halfway through that hand luring motion. So watch again. I'm going to start luring the rollover and then just pull my hand back and see if I can use just that small motion. Good girl. Got distracted by a cheese there. Well, let's try that again. Good girl. And I clicked and treated even though she popped out of her down. In fact, the click does mean that she's done, so she hasn't done anything wrong with that. I still have to pay. So see how I clicked and see how I quit the luring halfway there. So I'm going to do that several times just to make sure that she's got it. Good girl, go get that thing. Nothing wrong with taking little breaks here and there, especially because she's having a tendency to bunch up. Very nice, good girl. She's having a tendency to bunch up right up here, so I might just toss a little treat to get her further back. And to give me time to work because she's just so excited. Ready? Very nice. Very nice. So that was a much smaller hand motion. I'm going to do that again. Go get that thing. Ready? Get that down. Very nice. Very good girl. And notice, guys, that I'm not clicking at the end of the behavior. I'm actually clicking while the behavior is still occurring. All right? And what I'm trying to do is reinforce the decision to go for the full, ooh, I like that offer down. Very nice. Very good. A little spastic, but I'll still take it. Good girl. Go get that thing. All right, let's see if we can make this motion even smaller. Ready? Very nice. Very good. So now I'm just doing the very beginnings of the luring motion. It's still pretty close to her body, so I think the next step would be that I want to see if I can do a hand signal that doesn't have to be right up against her body. I'm going to do one more where I'm just doing the beginning of the luring, and then I'm going to see if I can start to fade even that a little bit more. Get over here. Very nice. I'm just going to do the beginning. Very nice. Good girl. Beautiful. Do that one more time. Repetition is key, guys. It's important to practice things You know, not just that one time and then decide, oh, I'm going to make it harder. We don't want to frustrate her. This way. Oh, no. You almost got a whole big chunk of cheese. Beautiful. So she's doing really well with that. And that's with no cheese in the actual luring hand, right? So we've accomplished that goal. Since we're on a roll here, I'm going to toss her a few pieces of cheese, let her run around and find some things, which is always fun, and a nice little break. And then I'm going to see if I can start to have that lure not be as close to her body. So one important thing to keep in mind here is that having something right up against her body and then trying to fade it to just this motion that's close to my body, we can't do that in one step. I'm just going to do it an inch or two at a time and then see how she does. If she's finding it difficult, it's always okay to take a step back. Ready? Right here. Very nice. So I just do a little bit further away from her body that time. That was beautiful. Very nice. So see how that time I had it a little higher up and she actually stood up. So I didn't click and treat for that. Well, I treated her mostly because she's like ready to go and I'm having to waste time talking to you all. So I don't want to get frustrated in between cheeses. So I'm going to take a step back and do the same level that I was doing before. All right, let's get that little down there. Very nice. Very good girl. Good job. Go back there. Right here. Right here. Touch. Good girl. Very nice. I'm going to do a little bit further this time. Good girl. That was awesome. That was good. Go get it. Oh my gosh. Almost lost her there. Touch. Very good girl. Let's put it down. Nice. Gonna fly off of the bed. Very good. All right, so I'm gonna start to see if I can move my hand even a little further. See how it's sort of higher up, not right next to her body now, but she's still doing it. She had a little moment there, I don't know if you saw, where she sort of considered coming up, but then she thought better of it and said, no, I'm just gonna stick with what's been working the past 500 times. A little bit of an exaggeration. Good girl. So my hand is still close enough that she's actually being able to touch it with her nose. So I still got to keep working. Eventually, I just want to be able to do a little flick of my hand there, which actually looks just like her cue for turning left. So I'm going to have to think about how that's going to look. But honestly, I'm just going to keep fading it until it gets to a point. Ooh, looks like her treat got stuck in a crack. I think her dad, who's behind the camera, can help her. Looking for her little cheese. Oh my gosh, it really got lost in there. It's a weird hole in our carpet. Can't find it? You can't abandon your cheese? Ready? Some easier cheese right over here. That's a good girl. Good job. That was tough. So she had to deliberately move away from my hand, which is really tough. Go get that thing. Ready? Don't know what that was. You'd get a cheese for it anyway. Ready? Look at that. Good girl. That was awesome. So that was much higher up. Very nice. I'm going to see if I can do it even a little further from her. Still have it pretty back toward her body that way. Good girl. Very nice. Very nice. And eventually, guys, we're going to turn this into a verbal cue. So actually, since she's doing such a, well, let's see. I'm going to see if I can fade the lure just a little bit more. Did you get it all? All right, get over here. Good girl. Very nice. Beautiful. Okay. She still seems so fixated on my hand. I'm a little bit nervous about starting to add the verbal cue. I just don't know how effective it's going to be. Good girl. Very nice. So that time she seemed to think about it, say, oh my gosh, what is it that I'm supposed to do? And then do her little roll. Of course, we can't see into her little brains, but that's what it looked like to me. So I'm going to start to add the verbal cue now, which probably should even be a separate video, but she's on a roll. I'm just going to show you guys how you would start doing that. You're going to say the verbal cue before you even start doing the hand motion for the lure. And then you do the lure. Okay, so it's verbal cue first, then the lure. So my verbal cue is going to be very boringly just roll over. I don't want her to hear it yet. So watch. I'm going to have my treat ready. Say, roll over. Good girl. Very nice. It's as simple as that. Now notice one thing that I actually made the lure a little bit easier. When I'm first introducing the verbal signal, I don't want to make the mistake of making the lure so difficult that she doesn't perform it correctly, because I want to make sure there's a really strong association between the verbal cue and the behavior. Ready? Good girl. Roll over. Good girl. See how I'm saying the word first, then moving to do the cue. I'm sorry, the lure. All right, let's do one more. Roll over. I sort of said it in a different tone there, so that wasn't a great example, but there you go. I'm going to stop there while we are ahead. I'm going to clean my hands, and we'll see you guys next time.